Greetings to everyone here in Uterland. Today we are working on a Judge Dredd helmet. As you can see, I've prepped the surface of the helmet here, drilled out all the rivet holes, and also filled these two vent holes that were built in on the helmet. The material we were working with here is we have some fiberglass mat that I have pre-cut. I also have a cardboard form and covered it in wax paper to help prevent the fiberglass resin from sticking. Do bear in mind, as you can see, I'm wearing gloves. This stuff is nasty. Also a well-ventilated area. I got a pretty big space here. But I do recommend wearing respirators if you can. Do not do this stuff in your house. Everything will smell like fiberglass, including the butter that's in your fridge. It permeates everything. So first thing we're doing, I like these containers. They do not stick. You can clean them out and reuse them over and over again. Available at your local hardware store. Also, I don't mix with a brush. I use a piece of metal like this, because as you get, it makes for a more consistent mix than with the brush. Also, when it builds up over time for doing multiple batches, you can just hit it with a hammer and bust off the fiberglass and keep going. This is a 3M fiberglass resin. It's pretty common. It does like to eat certain kinds of plastics, so we'll discuss that in a later video when we continue to do the buildup on the top here. But for right now, we're just doing the base layer to kind of build up where there's no material in existence. This particular resin is it's an ounce for 10 drops. Yep, and we ran it. All right. Switch to our other bottle. If you run in colder environments, you can run a little bit heavier on the hardener, and it'll help prevent, or it'll help it cure up. I tend to be a little heavy-handed with the hardener, just to make sure you get enough all the way through. If it's real warm out, 80 plus degrees, and you want a little bit more work time, you need to do a little less hardener. And then just working it. Got to get it all the way down the little crevices. If you don't, you'll end up with spots where it comes out like goo in the end. Also, this can be applied in the same way for doing spot repairs. Do a small batch. I tend to not do a batch much smaller than an ounce, just because you can't get consistent mixing on it. But what I'll do is you'll kind of paint the blemished area while it's real liquidy to get a base started. And then as the resin begins to cure up, it turns almost into a jelly. Then go back through and clean up the edges, or fill it with the gel. And what I'm doing now, just painting on a pre-layer. This will make a smoother surface in the end. And it's a lot easier to lay the fiberglass down than adding now. This is a little different technique than I did with the Celti helmet. With her, I actually actually built the pieces using foam with a fiberglass overlay, and then epoxy them down. Worked out fine for that project, but I had some issues with the fitment and made my life a little more difficult. But I'll be laying matting here in just a moment. Okay, now I'll start laying the mat in. I'm actually going to use two different kinds of mat on this project. I'm starting with this really smooth mat because it's going to be the inside finished surface. I have a different style of mat where it's not woven, it's like a random strand kind of a substance. And I can use it a little easier for contouring the shapes. Most stuff will work really well. It appears I've overdone it with my resin. I got way too much for this little exercise here. So we'll just pour them out as much as we can. Make sure we get really good coverage on everything. Also, after this video ceases, I will be putting a heater on this to help speed up the curing process. It's a little cold here in the Pacific Northwest. Also, I'm going to fill the screw holes, just plug in a little resin, and get those closed up. But I'm going to sign off here and continue, since I got a little extra resin, and cut some more pieces to go over and fill up and build this front edge up. It'll probably be about 4 or 5 layers thick, and then I also have to build up along this lower edge here where there's a raised edge on the element of the movie. So anyway, thank you for watching.